Hey, Cormac, how's it going?
How's it going? What was that? I got a big. What was that? The monster was coming out.
Yeah, kind of, What is this?
Oh, they're essential oils. oh no,
Oh,
I
you just
usually use
smell it.
them. Yeah, I just smell them sometimes. You can drink them. You can smell them. Some of them are really good. So look, these ones I like the best, but they're getting empty now. This is peppermint, okay, and then I
Okay.
have ala cream.
Oh,
Peppermint really wakes you up, so that's really good. But the problem is I have none left. There's no oil left in it, so I can't really smell it anymore.
you really just smell it, or
You
you
just
something
smell it.
like you inhale like the oil or something like that?
Well, you don't need to, you can do that too. So there's that, what's it called? I can't remember the word in Portuguese. There's that little machine you put the water in and it kind of
Oh,
bathes
okay.
you. That one. What's it
I'll
called
try
now?
to remember.
Yeah, I have one of those as well. Those ones are really good for other ones, but this one is good
Yeah.
just to smell by itself. I know it wakes me up, so really like this one. Ala cream is
Oh,
actually excellent for your memory, they say. If you do that, your memory
really?
works better. So in Ireland, I used to have the ala cream plant and I'd crunch it up and smell it. But I used all this because you can put
Hmm.
it even in water, but it's empty.
People like mix with a tea
You can do that
water.
too if you like, but I'm going to tell you, they're super concentrated, so they're really
Oh, so it's
powerful.
not that
It
good.
might be,
Okay.
well, it might be too strong depending on what you're taking. Okay,
Might be
this one,
too
yep,
strong.
the
Yeah.
ala cream is way too strong. The peppermint's okay with normal water, is fine. Um, but I like those ones the best. But I have all these other ones because my wife would get them. Look, and you have to buy only this brand. I don't know if you know this brand, the
But
Teja.
yeah, I
That's
don't
the
know.
most
Okay.
because if you buy other brands, which I noticed, you can tell they're not good. You can tell they're not as concentrated and there's nothing there. But
Yeah,
I
that is
have some
important.
unusual ones. This is wild orange. I don't know actually how to use it.
Orange.
I don't know actually how to use this one, but again, smelling it is really good. It's got a really strong citric smell. But I mean, I remember reading that smelling all these things are really good for your brain as well. It's like
Yeah,
good for your
I've read
brain.
about that too. Some kind of therapies, even for people with diseases or in the end of their life with chronic diseases like
Well,
cancer and stuff, that they use therapy with some different kinds of smell, and help they just feel better. Not cure themselves completely, but like just feel
yeah,
better.
it can be. It can make your like certain things like Alzheimer's disease and dementia. It's really good to do your smell.
Yeah,
It trains your brain. So those things, it's really helpful.
yeah.
But for certain diseases and sicknesses, they tell you if you smell something like oregano, it might make your disease better. I don't know what it is. Like some parasites mightn't like the smell of those things.
Mhm.
But people use them topically, so you can rub them on part of your skin if you
Yeah.
want. This one is for drinking. This one's called On Guard. This one actually has it smells like Vino Kenchi. Is that what we call it?
Yeah,
Vino
yeah.
Kental.
Can't
That's
tell.
the smell
Yeah.
of this one. It's so
Wow.
exotic. I
Might
love the
be good.
smell. So I'm
Might be
kind of
good.
addicted to
Yeah, the
smelling
smell
those
is
things.
very good from Quintal, Vino
And
King, right?
this one's special too. This one's frankincense. I don't know what frankincense
What
is.
is that?
You don't know what frankincense is? Let me type that in
No.
Portuguese. I have no.
What?
It's one of the oils the three wise men gave Jesus. I don't know what it's called though. Let me see.
Oh, okay. I know the.
It's
I
got
know. I think I
Oh,
know
this
the name
says
in Portuguese.
incenso. The translation is incorrect. It's saying incenso. It's not
Something like
incenso.
mirra in
Ah,
Portuguese.
no, that's the other one. That's myrrh. I got
Oh,
it.
okay.
Olibano. Olibano. Is that it?
Olivano. Okay.
I don't know that name. It doesn't sound great, but this
Yeah.
one's really good too. So people say this one has really good healing properties as well, and you can drink this one and put it on something. So I still have some left, but it's really nice to smell too. I don't know. It's so like when you get these oils and you smell them, it's like you get this really exotic smell that you never smelled before, and you're kind of like, "What is that?" And you have to keep
I think I
smelling
smelled
it. You're not used to it.
that before, somewhere, Yeah. Like you said, for example, in the Alzheimer's disease, I believe that, for example, the connection that the brain makes to try to connect the smell with probably some memory or something like that, perhaps
That's
could
what it's called. Yeah, it works
strengthen
good.
the synapses.
It
That's
works with
probably
music too.
why.
It is, and it does with music. Even people who had COVID lost their smell. They
Yeah,
told all these
my
people with
father did.
disease.
My father
Oh,
lost
really?
the smell.
Well, they said I lost my smell for like 5 days or something. My point was, if it didn't come back properly, they said you should train your smell with these oils. Just keep smelling them, and it will train your brain to get the powerful smell
Wow,
back.
that is nice to know because my father lost his ability to smell things, certain things, not everything, but certain smells, you know. So for example, there was this day that he was cooking. I don't know what it was the name in English. It's like pimentón, you know it.
Pimentel. Oh, peppers. A bell
Yeah,
pepper. It's like a bell
bell
pepper,
pepper.
really.
Yeah, the bell pepper and stuff with meat and stuff like that. So he just forgot about the what he was cooking, and then he just like he went to the bathroom, and when he came back, he couldn't smell, but it was like a lot of smoke in the kitchen, you know,
Wow,
and
that's
he couldn't
interesting.
smell the the
The smoke.
the
Wow.
or to say the smoke, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
the
that's
smell of
strange. That would
pork.
be a really strong smell. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, you could probably get those strong oils, or even, but it even works with perfume. So I mean, obviously they're less healthy, but if you smell really intense, strong smells, it trains your brain to prepare to smell everything as well.
this is interesting to know. Next
I can't
session.
remember. They do have therapies, and I have another one as well. So, oh, this one's really. Actually, I thought it was lavender. Lavender is good to smell
Lavender.
if you want to sleep. But I got another one. I don't know. This one is just in English. I didn't know the name, and in Portuguese it's the same name. I'll just type in the name because it's really weird, and I don't know what it's from. But I love smelling it too. It's one of the other ones I kind of addicted to smelling. It's just such a unique smell.
Actually, yeah,
Wait, you know this one?
yeah, yeah.
Ah, I'm going to tell you, when I smell this, it's so crazy. So this one gives me a memory. So again, when you first open them, the smell is more powerful because this is like half full, this bottle. But when I first smelled this, it's like, I turned around to my wife and it's like, oh my God, I'm in a haunted house. I know this sounds really
Yeah.
crazy, but that's what I was getting, visions of a haunted house. And I got visions of a game that I used to play when I was a kid.
Wow.
There was a game and it was about a haunted house too. And the game was called
Wow.
Alone in the Dark.
Wow.
That was the name of the
That
game.
is really strong, you know,
And
because you can recall memories that you thought you didn't had, you know.
yeah, but that's what happened. I would just get the visual. Like again, I just smelled that and I get the visualization of a game. But I wasn't too sure. So I think in haunted houses, like if you go to a theme park that has a haunted house, I think they put patchouli in the haunted house to give that
Oh,
exotic smell
wow.
to all the people who come in. So then you associate the haunted house with patchouli. You know.
Yeah. Wow.
I do that, but there's certain things that do remind me of certain things. So like this is I can't really say it's like a fireplace, a Larera, right? But there's certain type of very, very old fireplaces in Ireland, like in a cottage, not in a normal house, has a really strong kind of smoky smell. And when I smell that, I'm always reminded of my great uncle's house because he had an old cottage with like a big massive fireplace. So when I get that smell, I think of his house. Um, when I smell, they're called cotton ball or mothballs. You know, mariposa or
Yeah.
yeah. So it's to kill them, to kill the moth. You
Uh-huh.
use these kind of balls, and they have a really intense smell. But I didn't know this when I was younger. But my grandmother used to use them in her house, and I didn't know what it was. It was just the smell of my grandmother's
Yeah, I've
house.
heard about that, that when you kill moths, they release a very strong smell, but
Well, no, it's a ball to
that's
kill
so
them that
strong.
has the smell. It's the ball that you kill them has a smell. Okay, so it's like they're called
Well,
moth
what is
balls.
it called? Like, is
It's
it
like
like
moth poison. It's like moth poison, we'll say, but it's like a little.
naftalina, something no,
I,
naftalina is for
I
another thing.
don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's called because I never had them in Ireland. We never used to use them, but my grandmother used to use them all the time. So all the rooms in her house had this weird smell, and I thought it was just the smell like of a spray my grandmother used to use. I only discovered afterwards for killing moths. But
Yeah,
again, if I smell that smell somewhere, I just 100% reminded of my grandmother's house. You know.
yeah. Oh, and that is funny because, for example, I remember that my brother, my oldest brother, used to make perfumes, you know, and he used like different types of essences, like the one with mirror. You said
Yeah,
what's
myrrh is really unusual. I have that in my house as well, myrrh.
and with different essences, you know, and it's funny because it's not something that you're used to smell every day. So I use
Well,
mine. I remember that the smell of myrrh,
myrrh.
myrrh.
Uh,
Yeah, that's right.
It's got a
Myrrh.
really weird spelling.
I used to remember like when I went to uh, uh, a house that I actually don't have much memories, you know, but I can remember feeling this smell in this house when I was a child, and it's like really strange because you cannot remember very well, like very clearly about the memories, but you know that you've been through this.
Yeah, the smell just brings back something. So again, when I smell those weird smells, I just think of my great uncle's house, my grandmother's house, and it goes right back into my memory. I'm
Yeah,
sure there's other ones too. Again, that patchouli. I didn't even know what that smell was. I never even heard of patchouli. As soon as I smelled it, I just thought of haunted house and this
yeah,
game. So bizarre. I don't know why I get that smell. I think some smells are in churches, and I can't remember. It's the incense. The
yeah.
yes, in church. I'm gonna say it. I don't know which one it is. I was going to type it in. I don't know if it's Palo Santo they
Palo
use,
Santo, that's right.
but it has another name. I don't know what it's called in English because it's not called Saint
Yeah, I don't know
Wood.
the name either, but I know that it's something that is used to. It's not like rituals. It's when you use to. I would say like to be easier, like to bless the house, you know. So you burn with other herbs in something, and you get the smoke through the house just to bless it, you
Yeah,
know.
it's the type of what. There's different ones. I just don't remember. Well, it is frankincense and myrrh, but there's another one. Actually, yeah. So look, it's that's why because we think because of the three wise men had frankincense and myrrh. They actually use frankincense and it's frankincense and myrrh inside the church. Okay, but
Yeah,
it's another. But I know they use that Palo Santo, I think, as well. I just don't remember the name. I tried to type it in and I got something else.
yeah. So we call this like here defumação in Brazil, in Portuguese. That would be like you get a lot of herbs, a lot of things, and you just smoke to make a spiritual blessing in the house, you know.
Yeah, they do
It's
that
very
in America.
common, very,
They
very
said
common.
to get rid of the spirits you get
Yeah,
in the
that's
sound.
right.
Okay.
Like with incense, but would be
Yeah, but
strong.
it's a special type. It's a special type. So it's the Palo Santo. Yeah, this one. But you can drink these ones as well. That's what's kind of unusual too. You can drink frankincense. So this oil you can put on your tongue. You can put it in because it's not poisonous, and people use it as a cure for certain things. Especially if you get the real original one. It's called Boswala something. His original name for frankincense,
Yeah,
and also the myrrh. And it's so bizarre. You put the myrrh under your tongue, and it's just like I don't know, because it's like we're so used to the normal flavors of things we eat, sweet, sour, savory. You don't know
yeah,
how to describe these flavors. And it's like, what is this? How can I say this to someone? What is myrrh? I don't know what it is. It's just so unusual. But I used to
yeah.
put it under my tongue a little bit.
I was seeing some things like that, and there are people that like put some how do you say like some just a little bit of blue methylene blue, something like
Oh, I
that.
have that too. I use that too. Mandolin glue. Yeah. So I don't think that has much of a flavor though, as far as I remember. It kind of stings
I
maybe.
don't think it does, but what I recall is that the thing of drinking it with like water or something,
Yeah, it stings.
you would improve your cognitive functions. You know,
Yeah, it's the
it would
mitochondria.
even turn your brain blue. It's
That's what it does. It does turn your brain blue, and it's what it turns on is your mitochondria. So everything's about turning on your mitochondria. So there's so many different things I see nowadays. So hydrogen water. So if you go to the gym, I've seen this people buying selling hydrogen bottles. Okay, but people are saying they don't work so well. But you can buy like a capsule of hydrogen and put in your water, and people say it works like coffee. You just get a whole bunch of energy, and he said that affects your
wow.
that affects
How
your
that works?
mitochondria. What do you say?
How that works?
I
So
don't
you
know.
just
It's like our
put more
body's missing
in your blood, something
our
like that.
body. Yeah, our body's missing hydrogen. It's like something we need also. Okay, so if you put the hydrogen capsule in the water, it will make the water hydrogenated, and then you'll get lots of energy. And it's that people say it works like coffee. It gives you lots of energy. So certain gyms are in America, of course. In Brazil, these things come secondhand, but I see people selling the bottles of water in Brazil and some of the capsules. But some guy said most of those bottles don't work. Like they work when you first buy them, and then maybe they break after a month, and people don't know, and they lose the effect. So uh, there's a certain bottle you can buy
Well,
in America that works very well, but it's better to buy the hydrogen tablets, they'll say, and they last longer. And there's other things like nitric oxide, and people say it's an
nitric oxide is actually very good, especially
but it
for
doesn't work.
runners, you know.
Yeah, but it's not working. You see, this is the other part of the problem. Nitric oxide is excellent, but they keep on saying that how we can buy it. You'll buy it with beets, okay? And they're saying it actually doesn't work because it's not converting well enough in your body. So we're not really getting it from the plants or from beets. We need to buy
Yeah,
something
so
else, like a
actually,
special supplement.
I won't know the name of the thing, but I actually make a pre-workout mix that is natural, that goes like uh, everything in powders. So it's guarana, right?
Yeah, guarana.
Beetroot. I remember the name.
Yeah,
Beetroot.
yeah, that's the beets. Yeah, beetroot. Yeah,
Yeah,
but they're
it
saying
is.
that doesn't work though nowadays. That's what they're saying. It might work.
Actually, it works like pretty fine for me, especially for when I go to run. Train longer runs, and it also goes Peruvian maize. Okay.
Peruana, maca peruana, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you see, have to use that as well. That's a good point.
Grape seeds,
Grape
and
seed extract, probably. Okay.
there's another one. I won't remember. Ginger,
Oh,
ginger,
yeah, ginger is really good. That's very natural.
and they, all these five together, it's like a natural pre-workout. And it works
Yeah,
fine for me.
yeah, yeah. They probably do work. I just don't know how well they work. I mean, I used to think beet powder used to work because I used to say use the beets or beet powder. But someone
Yeah,
said the other day it's not as effective. It doesn't work in our system so well. And there's something in beets that are negative for us too. So it will take away from the nitric oxide development. I don't know what it was.
it's strange because what I've studied and heard is that the beetroot in powder, it's one of the most powerful ones because it's the one who has the nitric oxide.
Well, that's what they used to say. You see, that's why we would take it. But I don't know. So I would have thought this too. But there's a guy coming out again. I'm only listening to the podcast that I listened to this week. It was this week. The guy was talking about nitric oxide and saying the beats don't really work. So he had another formula. But maybe he's lying. Maybe he just wants to sell his product because he says his product works properly and the beat one doesn't. I don't know, because I always wonder then if we're getting placebo effect or are they extracting things properly. It's like I think I said to you before about the lion's mane mushroom. Again, it's really good for you, but someone said it doesn't matter. Most of the extracts of lion's mane are not extracted properly. You have to use like alcohol and heat to extract it. And if you don't do it that way, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
I don't know with the beats. I don't know how it's working with the beats. I don't know. But this was guy was saying it wasn't working effectively. Like he said, it'll still work, but just not as potent as his way.
yeah. Well, it's strange, because, for example, I didn't study it too much, but basically, this pre-workout it basically empowers your condition to resist the increase of lactate in the muscles.
Sure.
Okay,
Okay.
so and besides that, it also increase like the oxygenation in your blood, so it will help a lot, in especially for physical activities that needs more endurance. Not just explosion and strength, like going to the gym, hitting weights, but
Yeah, it's different.
more
Long
coming
term.
with endurance. So, well, what I feel from this is that for longer runs, like more than 8 to 10 miles, or even longer than that, it helps me maintain like the same uh, consistency during the training. So I don't get too tired when coming to the end of the session, the training. So uh, this is basically what I feel during it because, for example, especially for when I go to train and with a lot of hills, that especially requires you a lot, especially from your heart, because when you try to run the hills, it's my heart just spikes out.
That's not good. You could get a heart attack.
Yeah, so it helps a little bit in that sense, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just like, you know what I did? I actually asked ChatGPT, I was seeing, but maybe it doesn't have this guy's information. I don't know what this guy's information is. But yeah, of course, beetroot powder is number one. I also say garlic can produce it.
Garlic.
Yeah, nuts, pomegranate juice, exercising, of course, because your blood's flowing. But I remember actually one of the chemical ones was L-arginine. Yeah, I remember someone taking that as well. L-arginine.
How's it called? Arginine.
L-arginine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
arginine.
and
Okay.
citrulline as well. Both these ones. So I've heard it. I've heard of these actually before. Look, let me put it in for you. This one,
What?
and I typed it in the chat for you.
Mm.
And this one, I remember hearing those before. I've been really good for you too. So some people, because after this guy was saying how to do it his way, other people go, I don't want to buy this guy's product. It's expensive, and I can only buy it from his website. So they say I just use L-arginine and L-citrulline. So maybe they're just as good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Wow.
so many of these things. And they said avoid using mouthwash. Yeah, I remember saying someone saying the same thing. Mouthwash destroys your nitric oxide.
Yeah.
I generally don't do that either. If I was washing my mouth, I use coconut oil.
Coconut oil. Yeah, I've tried it. I remember when I went to run the marathon, I drink like a cup of coffee, like 3 fingers of coffee mixed with coconut oil. It was like very good.
Well, that's what the MCT oil I told you works like. Remember the MCT oil?
Yeah,
But the
but he
MCT
also
oil is
has
more
the
potent.
butter, right?
Yeah, well, you can put the MCT oil with the butter as well. If you want, you don't need to. You don't need to. You can do it
But the
whichever
butter
way.
would be for the fat, right? For the energy.
It's both. So, but butter, it's the pure butter. Okay, it has to be real butter. Okay, it can't be it has to be grass fed. The cows have to be grass fed butter. It makes the crystallization of the water pure. So let's say that. So
Wow.
it's the fat also, and it crystallizes the water in the coffee or any water to make it perfect.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know why that is so important, but it partly is. I don't know. It's funny. I listen to all these podcasts, and you can't remember everything, right? You're just listening,
Yeah.
and you absorb maybe less than 10% of the information. Sometimes I just want to know what their products are, because a lot of times when they say what something's good for you, I go, okay, it's good for me, but what are they using? That's what everyone wants to know, and you kind of know what's the easiest thing they're using or the cheapest thing you're using, because it's kind of annoying again when I read about the nitric oxide, and he's saying nitric oxide's brilliant for you, but you need to get it with this certain product. And I was like, okay, I can't get that product in Brazil, so it's a bit pointless. Or it's really
Yeah.
expensive. You'd have to import it. What was the other one too? That was nitric oxide. There was another guy calling glutathione. I don't know how good glutathione is, but again, some guy said it's the best nootropic is glutathione. But this guy was using a glutathione spray, and I was like, okay, that's probably not available anywhere. Um, it's like again his own product, which is annoying because it's their product. You go to their company, you have to buy it their way.
Yeah.
But again, there's probably other ways of making it. Maybe if I type in ChatGPT, you know what? I think L-arginine makes it too, which is funny. I think that L-arginine makes glutathione. Let me type in that. Because then you don't need those other ones that they're selling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to spell glutathione. I'll type in a bad spelling of that. Glutathione, okay. Yeah, this says rich sulfur foods. I want to see if they can get it from something else. Vitamin C, selenium. Oh, acetylcysteine. Aha, what I told you
Yeah. I
was in the
remember.
cough medicine. That's in NAC. That's NAC. Actually, that's what a lot of people use for that one. They use NAC. Yeah, they
Yeah.
actually. I remember saying NAC is one of the best ways to produce glutathione, and you can buy that as a supplement in any shop nowadays as well. Everywhere sells NAC.
Yeah. I remember you saying about this one.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah.
I'm using it though as a syrup for my cough. Okay, I stopped using it, but you can buy it as by itself as capsule form, and that produces
Capsule
the
form.
yeah, yeah, as capsules instead of a
Oh,
syrup.
okay.
Like
Yeah.
like if you have a cough, you use it as a syrupy, right? And when you don't have a cough and you just want to use it for the gym, you buy it as capsules, and they're sold in all the supermarkets or all the pharmacies right now, which is what I
Mm-hmm.
noticed. But I actually haven't bought it. I haven't used it. So again, I think if you want to improve your nitric oxide, you'll buy L-arginine, and if you want to use your glutathione, you'll buy NAC. So I don't have to buy their products, right?
Yeah.
It's just a better way.
Yeah. Well, for example, those last weeks I stopped taking creatine. You know, I was
Okay.
taking like continuously, and I saw that some old researchers that saying that the continuous use of creatine could make the body stop producing naturally. So that could
That's it.
possibly interfere,
Well, it's
or it could
interesting.
even overcharge your liver. Okay, so
That's true too. Yeah.
I saw that those research are like not they're already proven wrong. Okay.
Yeah, I think the one with the liver was definitely proven wrong because they can see you can take it all the time. The other one, yeah, I always think it's better to what's the word? I can't remember the word now, but stop every once in a while, like you do 5 days on, 2 days off. Well, creating saying it's safe, but a lot of those things they say it's like it loses its potency. So things like, as you said, if you drink coffee every day and you drink 4 cups of coffee, it will lose its potency. You'll need those 4 cups every day just to get the same amount. And if you give one day's rest, then the coffee has a better effect the next day. You might only need 2 coffees.
Yeah, I feel that because these days that at the new job, I've been drinking a little bit more coffee to, keep the pace. And I feel that the effect that it's having on my body, it's being lower.
Exactly. So that
That
means you should go one
probably
day
is
with
going
off.
to stop a little bit and drink like you said, one day yes,
Yeah.
one day not.
Or
So
one day take one coffee and that's it, and then drink it in the morning, and then your body gets rid of the caffeine from your system, and then it's more potent. That's what it shows with a lot of these different things. Like if you take tyrosine, that I use for dopamine, it's good, but you're not supposed to do that all the time because you have to produce dopamine yourself, and that comes from what? Reading books or studying or working out. You get that dopamine release in a pot in a
yeah,
natural way. Otherwise, you destroy it.
yeah, exactly. So I also feel that like for example, when I do not drink this morning coffee, I feel that I am not energized enough, so that I couldn't start my day at the same pace I could normally do.
Me too. I always drink coffee in the morning. It's just because when you do get up, naturally you're going to be tired, right? It's just normal. You're not awake in the morning. You can't get your blood to flow. So drinking coffee in the morning is probably the best time to drink coffee of any time of the day. It's probably the morning time. I
Yeah,
usually drink it twice, as I told you. It's the morning and around 12 o'clock because I need energy again to talk to my students.
yeah.
Get
So,
interest off.
for example, the days that I go to the gym and work out, I feel that I do not have to drink coffee. Perhaps it's because the blood flow circulates better in my body, So I do not feel the need to drink the coffee. So perhaps that could be
Well,
it.
that could be too because your blood is flowing. And again, I will say to
Sure.
people, getting anything like nitric oxide will make your blood flow, or maybe the L-arginine is probably better than the beets. I actually don't know now, but I'll have to read about it. And of
Yeah,
course, you could use that, as I said, you could try the hydrogen water if you could buy it in capsules. I know you can buy it in Brazil. I don't know how expensive they are, but I think they last a long time. We'll just say you buy 2 capsules. They might cost 100 reais, but they might last 6 months or
okay.
7 months, something like that. And you just put them in your water. I think
Yeah,
that's how it works. But you might feel. I haven't tried that, so you might feel the same benefit. Because people always say that, oh, instead of having my coffee, I'll take this, and my mind is clear and I'm energized. So I was like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. You can switch
yeah.
it up.
So, for example, going back to the creatine part, I stopped taking like I believe for at least 1 month or even more, and I feel the same way. Something that I considerably feel is that my recovery is a little bit slower, but nothing that affects it that much.
Okay.
Just like when I really get sore from the trainings, like for example, on the Wednesday, I went to the box training, and I really got sore, like my shoulders, arms, and stuff like that. So I'm still a little bit sore, and I know that if I were taking creatine, probably I wouldn't feel that much.
Yeah, it's usually beforehand. So there's you're supposed to, if you don't want to have that soreness, you can take creatine anytime, but if you don't want to have the soreness,
Yeah,
it's before you're supposed to take it. I think that's what they said. It loses its effect as afterwards. And someone says it's the same if you're taking the cold plunge, right? That freezing cold plunge. It's better to do it before than afterwards. You won't have the same effects if you're exercising. So when you do the cold plunge before and then you do your exercise, you won't get the pain so much in your body. So like there's all these systems that we don't really know. We kind of know what's good for us, but we just
yeah.
don't know what
So
amount and when we're supposed to take it sometimes.
yeah, so for example, about the cold plunges, I heard that if you do it, even if it's before or after, your results of hypertrophy, is that correct?
Okay, hypertrophy. You can say that, yeah,
It's
hypertrophy.
it's like much lesser because of the cold stimuli,
Well, it's supposed to be better before. That's what the new one. I don't know who was saying it. I listened to somebody podcast. I remember someone saying there's a difference between before and
Yeah,
after, and before is better. And same with creatine, it's better before it shows, just because you'll have less because you're taking it before you already. I don't know what you're doing with your muscles. You're protecting them somehow by
yeah.
doing it before, and then you get less pain afterwards. But
Oh, I used to take the creatine like before sleeping, going to sleep.
wow, that's so unusual. I would never have taken creatine before you go to sleep. Again, you can take that anytime you want, they said, but I don't know. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
pretty sure.
because in my train of thought, like it would help recovering the soreness of the muscles, so
Well,
when
that's true.
sleeping,
Sure.
having that
Well, but the problem is it has a good effect, a positive effect on your brain. And I don't know then if it would be good to when you're sleeping. So you know when you take creatine nowadays, people are saying there's different ways to dose it, right? You can take the normal 3 or 5, whatever, that's fine. But if
yeah.
you're ever tired or sick or something, you take a high dose. You take a 10-gram dose or something like that, and then again it spreads everywhere in your body.
Even
And
if
depending
your
on
body doesn't absorb.
well, it will. I think it absorbs more when you put it that more in your body. It will go to everywhere in your body. So when you take the small amount, it might go to your muscle areas. But if you take the 10-gram, it'll go to your brain. And they said anyone who's tired or sick, it's brilliant to take it at that moment. Like if you didn't sleep at nighttime, you take the high dose, and your brain will work effectively. It's like you slept really well. So it shows like it has effects for Alzheimer's as well, and dementia and Parkinson's, those diseases, because it will go to your brain, but it only goes to your brain on a big dose. But you don't need to do that. It's your choice, right? People are just good if your muscles take the normal dose. If you want your brain to be stimulated at the same time, you take a high dose. And again, as you said, the evidence shows it's not doing anything to your liver. And it seems like you can constantly take it. You don't need to take a break. You know?
Yeah, I think that would be good, because I think my body got really adapted to it. So it's strange because nowadays that I'm not taking, I don't feel much difference. I don't feel that I really do have to take creatine anymore.
I don't notice the difference either. It's funny because, I guess the most effective nootropic, if you want to call it, in my opinion, is coffee. I notice when I take my coffee, and I can notice when I take the
That is
coffee
something
with
very,
MCT. That gives me the most stimulant effect. But I try other things. I've tried the lion's mane before. I didn't really notice anything. I take small dose tyrosine sometimes. I don't take it now. I took it because I had inattentive ADD. So I noticed it the first time I could just concentrate. I was start daydreaming. But other stuff I don't notice like a real powerful impact. I know my mind, when I take the peppermint oil, I can feel my mind becoming fresher and clearer, right? Because I'm sniffing that one. And same with the alacrine.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
but
let's see.
other stuff I'm not quite sure. Like you really have to monitor your own body. You have to think about it when you don't take something, how you feel, and how you take something when how you feel when you take something. So again, you haven't taken the creatine in a long time. It'd be interesting to see if the next tomorrow morning you wake up and take maybe a higher dose one. Take a bigger dose, maybe like a 10, and just see what
Yeah, it
happens
would be
that day.
interesting to test
And
it out.
you have to monitor yourself because this is what happens with most people. They don't monitor themselves, so they don't think what was different. They don't know what's different because they don't think. Um, so the only thing I really know that's really powerful is coffee. Other stuff I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it will be interesting to test it out, so the response of my body to like higher doses, small doses along, over a longer period of time. I don't know. But like I said, I feel normal. I feel great now. I feel like I am taking normally.
Yeah, but as you said, you do other things. So if you're doing,
Strange.
as you
Even
said, you're
more.
doing coffee and sport and beach.
Yeah, yeah. So I haven't been taking like no vitamins, no creatine, nothing. Like just my normal alimentation and drink lots of water. Just the
Yeah,
basic.
sure. That works for me as well. And as soon as I do my exercise in the morning, I get lots of energy too.
Yeah, it's
And
funny.
nice.
It's funny because if you see those influencers, they will try to sell you as much as they can, to
Yeah.
convince you that you need every vitamin possible, like you need creatine, whey protein.
No. Well, what's it showing that whey protein is off the list? Creatine is way more effective. So again, when I'm listening to
Yes, I agree.
the last tr- top podcasters I was listening to, it's creatine is always on the list. Okay, so that's one you can take nearly every day as a top supplement. The other ones are omega-3, vitamin C. You don't need it every day. Vitamin D is really important for all type of immune system and for just for general health. So I still take vitamin D3 because we can't even get it. Even in Brazil, being a sunny country, you're in our house, right? Okay, so we don't get enough vitamin D, so we need vitamin D. So that is actually on the list just to be a healthy person.
Yeah. So I mean, uh, those like are supplementation. So I believe that if you have a good alimentation that supply all your needs for vitamins, protein, carbs, and stuff like that, probably won't need it, you know.
We need them less, but look, you probably still, everyone's saying you do need vitamin D, even in Brazil. Why? Because even though Brazil's a super sunny country, I go out in the sun sometimes, but I'm working during the daytime. I don't get the proper enough of sunlight, so I know my vitamin D levels are really low. Even if my skin's really white, I absorb more. It's still
Yeah,
extremely low, and it's really bad for your eyes as well to be inside. We're not getting enough light, so
exactly.
we do need the vitamin D. And it does show as well that you're probably lacking magnesium. Again, you don't need to take these supplements every day. It's just you're always going to be lacking something somewhere. So it seems like everyone's lacking magnesium in their body because it's not in the soil, therefore it's not in the vegetables. So we need to take those things as well. But I always have those in my cupboard. I don't take them out, most of them every day. I just take them because I know I'm going to be missing them at least once a week.
Yeah,
But I prefer the things that are energizing. So I prefer things that give me motivation and energy because I don't want to dream. I don't want to because I'm trying
yeah,
to get things done.
yeah. So I know some people that have some cases that, how would you say, like have an oversupply of vitamins, you know.
There can be some people, but it's rare. It goes on your genetics, or it depends on what you're eating all the time, and that can be bad for you as well. I think if someone who had an oversupply of something that could kill them. You can drink too much water, believe it or not. Yeah, affects your electrolytes. Too much water can be bad for you, especially if there's no salt in it. You know.
Yeah,
And someone said eating more salt is better than people who don't eat any salt. Right?
yeah. So, for example, of the creatine, that people used to say it can overcharge your liver because it retains more water. So you have to drink a higher supply of water to compensate for
Mm.
that. How would you say?
To flush out your liver. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know. I never heard of that one before.
Yeah, because the main property of the creatine that is it retains a lot of water in your muscles. So if it retains a lot of water, takes a lot of water from over all your body, it would probably overcharge your liver, you know, or even your kidneys. So you would have need to have a higher ingestion of water during your normal day in order to not overcharge your liver, neither your kidneys.
Yeah, but then you might have the problem you won't get enough electrolytes in your body. The water dampens down that too. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's all about having things in balance. And I don't know. I'm always listening to I listen to the podcasters and I don't know what the right one is because everyone's giving different theories. Like I told you that weird theory about you shouldn't run. The book was Born to Walk. But the theory is that it's really people who run, 50% of runners get injured. And it shows it's not good for you overall to have that level of stress when you're running, and it's way better to just sprint and do quick sprints. So it's like you walk fast,
oh
okay, or walk
yes, I
normal,
heard about that.
and then you sprint for 2 minutes, and then you stop, and then you walk normal, and you sprint for 2 minutes again. And that's how you do it. And you don't need to do it all day. People like to think you have to be tougher, you have to be stronger, you have to endure the pain, and the more you do that, the better you are. And it's like it's showing you that that's not effective and an incorrect theory.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard about that as well. So, for example, that people saying that, for example, longer runs for endurance it could be good, but in order to create muscle and hypertrophy, it's not that optimal. You know, so for that would be better, even for the cardio part, to make like explosive
Yeah.
sprints. You know.
Sprint instead. Yeah, that's what it shows. There was that Japanese walking. Have you heard of that? Did I say that to you before? I don't
Yeah,
know.
you
Into that one.
told
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
you know, that it's like a very quick walk
Yeah, it's
method.
walking normal, walking quickly, walking normal, walking quickly. This it has the same, and same with the bikes. They said there's a certain bike called I think it's called a Peloton bike, where you do the same. 2 minutes normal, 2 minutes fast, 2 minutes normal, 2 minutes fast, and you're done, and that's it. They say it's just as good as doing 30 minutes on the bike. So I don't know how. I mean, they have to prove this stuff with fact, right? I don't have a clue. Anyway, I don't know if you want to talk about anything else, or do you want a list of the topics? I'll give you a
No,
list of topics.
I have some other topics to
Go
say.
right
So,
ahead.
for example, it's funny because my previous company that based here for Cambly, you know,
Oh, they did. Okay.
yeah. So yeah, so for example, I paid like 50 reais and they paid like 250 a month uh, for 4 hours monthly, you know, of class. And I don't know what happened if they will cancel out.
Yeah, leave it on until they cancel out. They say,
But
"Oh,
there's
I didn't know. I
not
forgot."
even working there anymore. Um, the Cambly account, it's on the company email, account. So I
Mm.
don't know.
If it still
It's
goes
funny.
on, it goes
I
on.
don't know what will happen if we're still going to have our classes together, or we will be saying goodbye to each other.
Okay, I forgot how many companies do that. Actually, a lot of companies do. I have one student. I told you I've had him for like 3 years now. A student from Rio Grande do Sul, and but he's been 3 years. His company's being paid. And I was like, your company's still paying? I was like, yeah, yeah. It's one of the benefits of my job since I'm forced to work all these long hours because he was a manager in his company. Because
Wow,
he liked having Cambly, so he calls me at his lunchtime, like twice a week, like on Thursday and Friday. He'll call me during his lunch and we'll have a chat.
wow, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know what will happen. They probably just cancel my account
Yeah,
probably
maybe.
this month or the next. I don't know what will happen, but
Well, they could forget it's Brazil. They won't know who's on which account.
yeah, I don't know. Whatever, man.
Yeah, but if you already paid for it, I always think if
No,
you already
actually
paid for
not.
it.
That is the thing. So I just pay one. I actually discount from my salary, and they pay everything. So uh, I really don't know what will happen. So we have to wait to see.
Okay,
But anyway, I followed you on Instagram, so whatever. We have each other contact.
okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, yeah. Some people ask for the Instagram also.
Yeah. And this week at the new work was like intense.
Ah, right.
What
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
say when your boss gets, it's not angry with you, but he just like gives you some tips of not what not to do,
Okay.
what would
Oh,
be the word for it? Like
I'm
in
trying to
Brazil
think.
it would be like tomar uma bronca.
Yeah, I know you say that. Yeah, but that's more angry. You see, when you're tomando bronca, it means someone's very angry with you. So he was. Oh, I can't think of the word. Like you said, he gave you tips on what not to do. But that sounds very nice of him to do that. But when you get a bronca, it's more like he's angry with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you tell by the tone of his voice?
No,
Would you say
he was
scolded
very
you?
calm, but it was like some other activities that I couldn't deliver at time. I just like deliver in the last minute possible, and
Mm,
he just told me like you need to be faster. You need to pay more attention to the details in order to get the thing done in the time. It was basically it was not like very angry, but
yeah, it's like
just a pressure.
a bit of warning or a bit of pressure how to
Yeah,
do things. Yeah, you could
exactly.
say that. Okay,
But
but did you find it hard in your job then? Was it difficult for you to
no,
follow the
no,
details?
because it was different. So here's the thing: that activity that was I delivered in the last minute, it's a workflow in a tool called Zapier. So you can automate everything you can think of. So here's the thing: I was trying to make an automation of a guy that he would put a document of a Zoom phone call, a transcription of that call in a Google Drive folder. And
Okay.
then it would take this to ChatGPT to analyze the transcript and give a score based on some metrics. So how did the sales guy went? So what how did it go with his performance? So here's the thing. After he put this document on the Google Drive folder, it needs to take the text, transcribe to plain text, so ChatGPT is able to analyze. Okay,
Okay.
because he cannot in this tool he cannot analyze his documents in general, and you have to take just the text. So it goes to ChatGPT. Then ChatGPT would send a summary of the performance, the scores, what would he need to make it better or not, how did it go about each category, and send an email to him telling how about the summary and stuff, and then uh, what was it? I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, so take the same transcription,
Okay.
transform into the JSON. JSON it's like a type of code to uh, it's like this JSON.
Oh, is
JSON.
that a different spelling? Oh, okay, okay. Not
So
like
it's like a certain specific type of code. So it turns like into, how would you say, like, it's not the parenthesis, it's the
I have
the
no idea what the codes. Brackets? I don't know. You
brackets.
said,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, brackets.
So
Okay.
you take each type of category, like the name of the person who spoke, the category that's analyzing, the score of it, the text, and divide into brackets. To so it's easier to the machine to understand it. Okay, explain in a simple way, and takes this code and populate an Excel spreadsheet with the parameters. Okay, so of each new
It
input.
sounds extremely complicated, Nicholas, but go on ahead. It's your job,
Yeah,
you know these
so
things.
I had this idea, this general vision of what I had to do,
Okay.
but to make this workflow work perfectly, smoothly on the so was so hard. Like, because for example, uh, at first I didn't know that to input the document on ChatGPT, it did not being able to analyze. So I didn't know that I had to convert first of all to text, then input on
Ah,
ChatGPT, and
okay.
that took like at least 2 hours testing to understand that, by
Good.
myself.
Okay.
And I
Well, that's
lost
the problems of working with yourself, isn't it? When you're at home, you can't ask someone what it is, right?
exactly. I asked help for other people, but they did not answer me. They took a long time, and I had to figure it out by myself. So okay, then after the ChatGPT sent the email, I already had the script for AI to analyze the transcript, but with the JSON part to
Okay.
transform into code. But I did not want to transform into code yet. I wanted to make the summary to send the email, but each time that I modified like a little bit the script of ChatGPT, it wasn't able to identify and make the summary. So it was like uh, I just had to go and test like at least 1 more hour to test the script, like what was going on
Like
wrong.
prompt engineering. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, to get the right
exactly,
words. Yeah.
exactly. Then it worked, and then the hardest part that was developing the code to take the JSON and to divide by each category to populate the right cell on the spreadsheet. So take the score, divide by each category, transform into a variable. So that variable would, uh, how would you say, like keep the value of the score of the comment, whatever. And then on the Excel spreadsheet, I would take this variable to populate each cell, you know. So you take the document, okay, ChatGPT analyzed it. It gave the score for each category of the like um, about the ability of close from the sales guy, the ability to uh, be like more energetic, so categories like that, very simple. And it score like from 0 to 5, and then put this in each variable and populate the spreadsheet. So I was trying like this for at least 2 to 3 hours, because I was not understanding that.
Well, you know what? At least I know it's really difficult for you now, but maybe this is the learning process of this new company. Next time you do it next week, you'll probably the process will be a lot faster.
Exactly,
You'll get it done.
exactly. So here's the thing. I had to do this all by myself, and uh, this guy that is my boss, like telling me that you have to deliver this today.
Oh, that's
And
yeah.
I wasn't able to do it. So, but I managed to at least deliver in the last second.
Okay, well, you should got it done. Well, that's fair enough. But I'm going to ask you something else. There's a huge problem with these manager type people not being technical people or engineers and not understanding the issue. So I've had two other students telling me this, that they were really annoyed. So there was a Polish guy like yourself working with engineering and doing all something. He goes, their manager is in Cincinnati, okay, and he's in Poland. And he goes, the guy they gave them to talk about the project doesn't know anything technical. So it's like talking to someone who doesn't know anything and then he can't fix anything. He just tells them to get the work done. And I had another guy as well, a guy from Curitiba. Oh, this guy's a genius. He's a systems engineer, right? He's extremely intelligent, this guy. Look, he's in his 60s, right? So he has all the experience of fixing everything. And he goes, that it's really hard to fix things. Like you said, it's not so simple. When you fix one thing, it makes a mistake somewhere else. It's not so
Exactly.
difficult. It's not so easy to fix all the time. It's far more complicated, and the managers don't understand that. And sometimes he'll have these brilliant ideas because he knows everything, and he goes, he could really work as a consultant, which is what he did before. But he said, they don't want to be flexible. They just they want to follow a system because they don't know, because they're like in Brazil and they're following some company from America. And he's like, look, I can fix all this stuff and I can change the system to make it work better. They're like, no, just do it this way. And he gets really frustrated. So he's like, I think I'm just going to start my own company again or work independently as a consultant. But this guy's like studying by himself still. He's like, I think he described himself as a systems engineer. That's how he described himself. But I think he knows everything. But he's studying even cyber engineering, cybersecurity by himself. Like the company aren't paying for it, just doing it because he wants to know everything. Well, I think he knows everything anyway, this guy. But how about your manager, the Canadian guy?
What
Does
about
he
it?
have does he have that problem? Does he understand your problem?
Yeah, so here's the thing. He's not a technical guy.
Yeah, there's
So
the problem. That's the
he,
problem.
he has a general vision of major processes that is very good. So sometimes he helps me, like, first of all, understand the main problem of what we need to do and what's the would be the best result to deliver. That is something that he really helps me. But for example, I was having some trouble with this tool of developing workflows, and he tried to help me, but he didn't know nothing about it. You know.
Okay, that's part of the problem. Do you have a form then? You see, there's another thing as well. From talking to the computer engineers I know, our programmers, whatever, in software, they have a special chat room to talk to others, and it's always open. They need something like that, a special chat room that you can put in your problem, and then around 10 other
Could
engineers
be
can then
nice.
fix it.
Could be nice. Well, that's actually a very nice idea.
Well, it exists though. That's what I mean. It already exists. How I know that is because all my engineers say that if they work by
I'll
themselves,
try
no
to
problem.
talk to him about that. If there's a group of everyone who works with that too as well, like a forum, a community.
Yeah, a community where you just put in questions, someone sees your question and someone can answer, and you can help other people too. You can go there and say,
Yeah,
I'm working on this. This is a good idea for this. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you get no communication. And if you get, and then this is another thing,
exactly.
Nicholas, I realized if I'm talking to all my students everywhere around the world, I'll ask them what's the most important part of their business. And they'll all say communication. It doesn't matter how specialized you are. Like, even if you're a doctor, right? You miscommunicate, you kill someone. So it doesn't matter if you're a great
Yeah, that
surgeon.
actually makes a lot of sense. I'll talk to him, but even like that, if they doesn't have like a community, a close community of our company, but probably on the internet, like forums of the tools, some people that can help me, because I lost like a lot of time develop things that are supposed to be easy, but I had to do it by myself, and I did not know the right way to drill. So
Well, actually, you know what people look for in good employees is that they can work by themselves and come up with their own ideas by themselves to fix problems. A lot of people can't do that. So you did that by yourself. So you did really well. Um, has he already given you work for next week, or how does it work?
what?
Has your manager given you work for next week? Like,
No, actually not. So was at least for the one of the last activities for this week. Probably next week I will have some more other activities to do. And it's funny because, for example, I was hired alongside with another intern that is a girl,
yeah.
also from here, from São Paulo. And I spoke a lot about with my boss, and he told me that it's much easier to hire girls because they're more compliant, which
Oh
is
wow. Okay. Yeah. Again, it's nature
true.
by
Which is
nature. Yeah.
true. Basically, based on the nature of each gender,
Hmm.
it's the natural way. So I feel that he wants me to be more, how would you say, uh, uh, I don't know what would be the right word,
Say it in Portuguese. Maybe I know.
like arrojado.
I don't know that word. I have no idea.
Yeah, so it would be more like independent,
Okay,
something.
he wants you to be the opposite of that girl. Okay, but you
Yeah,
are already.
exactly.
Okay,
So
well that's good.
I believe that's why he hired me and her. So she would be like a more compliant for other projects, something like that, and I would be more of a to develop a business vision, a general business vision, marketing
Okay.
and stuff like that. Oh, here I see. He wants me to be more bold.
Well, okay, but we don't use it. That's funny. Bold, yeah. Courageous.
So
Bold we use as malcriado in Irlanda. It's really funny.
yeah,
Only in
so
my country.
it's funny because at least for those weeks, I've tried to pass this impression of being more bold, and it worked at least for now. But he was telling me that I also need to ask for more help. Be more. He did not tell me about that, but to be more humble. Get a step back and really, literally ask for help.
Yeah, because when people
I
go,
don't know. I
yeah, but
think
that's true.
that it has to be a balance.
Of course, but overall, they like people who can work independently. That's whatever. That's again, the managers say a lot of people don't know what they're doing, so they don't like having to help someone fix someone's problems all the time. So yeah, but it's fair enough in your job. If you don't know, you don't know. You have to ask. So maybe ask for the form, or how about that Brazilian girl that you work with? Is she? Can you contact her or not?
Yeah, I spoke to her. It's funny because she is like a little bit passive, you know. It's just my impression, but it's just like I said, to have someone who is more compliant and can work under orders, than just try to.
Well, but a lot of people are like that. I think most people are more passive than energetic, right? I mean, in Brazil, you're more independent minded. If you meet all the Chinese people, they'll be Japanese. They're very
Yeah,
passive.
yeah. So, for example, myself, I am a very energetic person, so that doesn't work for me, So I always want to do another activity, help someone out in another activity. And the problem with that is that this week I focus a lot of on minor activities, instead of major activities to really deliver it, because I just forgot.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. Those things can happen.
It
Maybe you have to
happens,
write them
but
down.
it's just something that I need to have on mind, to have more focus on the activities that really matter. But
Um,
yeah, it was a nice week in
nice week.
general. So
Well, I'll begin your learning process, and then at the end of the month, you'll get paid in dollars, right? So you're even better. You'll be
yeah,
happy. They're like, my salary is this now.
yeah. This is something good. I had to create another account for example, my bank is Nubank, right?
Sure.
And Nubank doesn't have a Swift code. That is the code to
Really?
receive international salary
That's direct. Yeah,
in
I use a
time,
Swift
right?
code. My wife has a Swift code.
So I had to open another account on a site called Remessa Online.
No idea what that is. Okay.
Remessa Online is just the name, but Remessa, I don't know what would be the right translation for. Let me see. Remessa would be like shipping, online shipping.
Yeah, that sounds weird though. Yeah, online shipping for your salary.
Right, so
I
it's
don't know.
just basically to receive the money and transfer to my bank account. It's just like that because it has the Swift account.
Hmm.
But in general, was it that was good. But I think at least for the next weeks, uh, might be a little more. How would you say? Not that overwhelming.
Well, it could be because you're starting. I'm going to say everyone says their first week might be overwhelming, but you're in the deep end. It seems you're not doing internship work. You're doing the deep end stuff,
Yeah,
right?
I'm doing at least junior work. For even a mid-level work.
Yes, I mean you're already doing the deep stuff because we.
And I know that I saw the salary of one of the mid-level girls. She was telling us how to make the invoices, and she mistakenly showed us her salary.
Oh wow, was it a Canadian though or a Brazilian?
$2,000 per month
Okay, but that's in Brazil.
in Brazil. Yes,
Okay,
so
that's
it's
good.
even
Yeah.
not that a lot because she's like a mid-level. I was thinking that it's supposed to be like at least $3,000, but also of course here in Brazil it's a lot. It's like 12,
10,000, 12, yeah,
more
because
than
we have over,
10,000,
yeah, it depends
12,000.
on the dollar. But that's actually really good in Brazil. That's why I say your salaries jump a lot in
Yeah,
Brazil. So I always go, wow, that's actually pretty good in Brazil. Again, it depends where you live. If you're in Sao Paulo, everything's more expensive. In the interior, you'd be like, oh, I'm wealthy.
even
I
like
can buy.
that. But the thing is that I thought it was supposed to be higher, like at least $3,000 because she's a mid-level. She's
Hmm.
almost a specialist on that, so that she's
Wait, and
working
what's yours then? What's yours right now? Because you're starting.
1,000.
Yours is 1,000.
Yeah.
Okay, 1,000. Okay, that's lower then. Okay.
So the difference is huge, and the difference in the salary is not that huge. It's not that. that big, but I don't know.
But at least it's better than before. You were getting under 4,000. Now
Yeah, of
you're getting
course.
close to
And it's
6,000.
in dollar as well, so I don't do not lose to the real inflation, just to the dollar.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Which we always look at the change rate. My wife was always looking at it. It's like because when I first came when we were in Brazil at the start, my wife was working as a voiceover. It was like 3 reais, something like that. $1 was 3, and then it went four.
Yeah,
So like yes, five, yes, six. Woo! Rich. Yeah.